Welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be making my long grain white rice recipe, and this is going to be the second time I've made it. The first time I made it, I made the full batch that you see here, and now I am going to make a half a batch because the full batch was a little bit too much. So looking at the ingredients, I am not going to put butter in it because I am trying to live without butter. And I'm not going to put salt in it because I'm also trying to live without salt. So we're going to put 1 cup of long grain white rice, and we're going to do about 1 teaspoon of olive oil, and we're going to do 2 cups of chicken broth. So I've already got my 2 cups of water in Grandma's old stainless steel saucepan there. And I am making the chicken broth. I like to use the Knorr chicken bouillon, and we're going to get that in there and get this mixing up. This is the pot that I'm going to make the rice in, so we just start out with the chicken base. So we can go ahead and put in our teaspoon, maybe a little bit more of olive oil. As a former chef and pastry chef, I'm very used to just eyeballing stuff. I would say that's about 1.5 teaspoons, since we're not putting butter in it. We go with a little bit more olive oil. So we get this up on the high, so this will start to dissolve our chicken bouillon in there pretty quick. I've got my 1 cup of long grain white rice, and I decided the last time I made this that I wanted to add a couple of things to it, and one of those is going to be garlic. I thought it needed a garlic flavor, so there's a rather large a rather large clove of garlic. So we're going to put, that's a little bit too much. I'm not sure how this is going to work out. Let's put 1 large one and 1 smaller one in there because I don't want to over garlic it, but I do like a lot of garlic, so we'll put that in there. And I'm also gonna finely chop up some green onions. These green onions are looking kind of crummy, but I think I can pick out enough out of this batch to make that work. Our water's already started to boil, and I don't mind it boiling for a little bit. Gonna reduce it down a little bit. It's not too bad. You don't want to reduce it down too much. So let's turn our temperature down until we are ready for everything else. So right now I am ready to mince up my garlic. I've got my big Chinese chef's knife here, and the way I like to mince up garlic is gonna do it like Martin Yan does. Hi! There we go. Look at that. It still needs to be cut up a little bit. So we'll move that off the side, and then we'll do the other one. Hey! There we go. So now we'll just do a little bit of chopping with the Chinese chef's knife. There we go. We're getting that all minced up really good. That'll work out. Now we'll set this aside and just stick it on this plate, and now we'll continue cutting, or start cutting, the green onions. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to pick through these because some of them are starting to turn on me. I've actually had these a while, unfortunately. Some of them are still good, but a lot of them are not good. So, unfortunately, when your green onions start to go south on you, they're going to go pretty quick. But we'll get enough out of here to make this small batch of rice. Okay, that should be good for green onions. Alright, before all of our water boils away, we want to get this started. So we got that nicely mixed up. Now we will start adding our green onions. We're going to do this really quick because this is a really simple recipe. And we got our green onions, we got our garlic in there. Let's add the rice to it and get a nice spoon to start mixing this up. Make sure it's up on full blast. And that's going to be good. So let's quickly go back and look at our online recipe. Alright, directions. Number 1, place the rice in a large saucepan with the butter, olive oil, salt, chicken broth, or water. Bring to a boil uncovered and cook until you see holes forming that tunnel down into the rice, forming on the surface. About 15 minutes. So that's our next step. That's what we got going on right now. And then number 2, after the 15 minutes, reduce the heat to the lowest setting. Cover the saucepan, cook another 20 or so minutes. So when I did this the first time, I did the full batch. I did it in this big stainless steel saucepan, and it almost filled that pan completely up. And I would say this saucepan is probably the equal in size or so I could have done it this way. Alright, here we go. So just stir that up a little bit, and then we can get rid of our spoon, and we're going to start our little German stopwatch timer, and we're looking for 15 minutes and looking for holes to start forming in there about that time. We're just going to let it go here. I have turned it down to just below medium, and I'll keep an eye on it and make sure it continues to boil. Alright, we are right at 15 minutes, slightly past 15 minutes, and look at that. Look at the holes forming that go all the way through. That rice is done. That rice is done. So I've turned my burner off, and now we're going to do a little bit of fluffing. Make sure it's not all stuck on the bottom. And it is not. This rice came out really good the first time, and it looks like it's going to come out really good the second time. Well, it did burn a little bit right there. Well, let's get her fluffed up, and then we're going to let it sit for another 20 or so minutes. And I think, now thinking back to the instructions, I should have left it before fluffing it up. We should have left it for another 20 minutes. But anyway, we'll give it a little taste here and see what that's going to taste like. That has got a really nice little garlicky flavor. So what we'll do is we'll cover it up and we'll leave it on there, and we'll reset our timer for 24 minutes. And then this should be done, but I might have messed it up because I fluffed it up a little bit too soon. But that tastes really good. I can taste the onion and the garlic in there. Okay, we've had our 20 minutes. I turned the burner off and I just let this thing sit here. Alright, the green onions, you can see them in there. Let's re-fluff it. Doesn't look like I destroyed it too badly. It seems a little wet. Wetter than it should be. But I think it's going to be okay. I can definitely smell the garlic in there. Okay, let's give that a little bit of a taste test. I would say that's good. It could definitely use some salt, but I'm not going to be putting salt. Or butter. It could use some butter. Or margarine. But I'm not going to use that either. I'm trying to cut back on those. I think I could have went with a little bit more garlic. And I think I could maybe go with a little bit stronger chicken base, maybe. Maybe if I had made a extra cup of chicken base and then reduced it down. I don't know, I think it's really good. So now we're going to move on to the next project, which is going to be making some Italian vegetables. And that's going to go with my dinner tonight. That's going to be a seared chicken breast and rice and Italian vegetables. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.